Yeah, so the first thing where that impacts is we actually wanted as little change as possible within the supply chain, right? Mm-hmm. Editors, buyers, production timelines. So actually, while we're showing to the consumers, showing now, buy now, wear now, or see now, buy now, wear now. Yep. We're actually showing at that same time a season ahead for the press and the buyers, so there's no change there for the bulk of it. Yeah, so in February we showed a spring show, right? But for the buyers and the editors, we had a fall experience. So they were buying on the normal calendar. So that's the first part. So that's actually, some people get confused about that. So there's actually no real change on that side. By the time you show it to the consumer, though, they haven't seen it before. So that's fresh for them when the goods are hitting the floor to align with the advertising campaign. That's part of it of no change. What we did do, though, is this also gives us the time to kind of go through the season, see what some of the weather patterns are, see what some of if we missed anything. So what we did do is we actually went back into sampling and production and design on some other items that we felt we'd missed based on the spring shows, and put those into work in November, December. And we actually had a 10-15% increase in orders based on about 20 new styles that we put out there, based on things that we thought we could see it wasn't going to be a cold season. We could see that there were some trends that we felt we missed, and so we were able to go back in and do a reselling of that. So we almost had a second market, post-market, and on that sort of stuff, we had to change our supply chain around. So in some we had later deliveries, and in some we had to leverage a domestic supply chain. I think there's a lot of challenges and opportunities that we're facing as retailers today. One is that, through the digital revolution, the whole world has changed. There's a new cast of consumers out there called millennials and Gen Z that have changed the buying behaviors. And so now, through some of the biggest opportunities are through the internet, through online, you can actually reach the world's billions of populations with 3-day shipping to anywhere in the world. So all of a sudden it gives this great opportunity to those that wanted a voice, to those that felt like there was not a democracy in fashion. So there's almost this new democratic movement, and there's this opportunity to get yourself, your wares, your goods in front of anyone, wherever they might be in the world. And it's the first time we've had that. It's this freedom of self-expression, people are sharing, and it's just really a new movement. I think the challenges is there's a model which has been in place for many years. And so that can kind of be counterintuitive to this new model. So, there are legacy businesses in terms of supply chains, in terms of stores, in terms of how business has been done, retailing strategies, merchandising strategies, markdown cadence. And now you have this new crop of businesses that are looking to sidestep everything legacy and leverage cloud-based solutions and leverage all the social platforms. And so that's all of a sudden you're getting this shift. So I think the challenge within all this is, how do you keep business going in the present, right, while you're transitioning into the future? And those that are quick and nimble enough will survive, and those that aren't may have a problem. I think what makes our business unique is several things. One is that we're actually this rare breed of brand. We have the largest business in fashion with the female designer who's a millennial. We see a lot of power when you have a designer that's the same age and sex as their consumer, and especially with the millennials. So it's been this kind of peer-to-peer relationship between Rebecca, growing of age as an entrepreneur, kind of growing through her 20s, right into her early 30s, and taking this group of women along with her along the ride, and exploring new ways of behavior, new ways of shopping, social strategies. So I think growing up in the rise of blogs and the rise of social platforms and the rise of wearables, we've been able to be nimble and kind of a first mover advantage, and it felt very authentic to who Rebecca is and who she is. My background is I actually had a software company for many years, so all the technology we do and all the different things we're looking to do to disrupt how shopping is done or to see where there are inefficiencies in fashion, I'm able to kind of look at from a different lens. And so when you combine that with who Rebecca is, we have a unique perspective on the world of fashion and on life, and that gives us a unique advantage.